Alright, in this video we're going to show you Google Add-ons, and Google Add-ons are actually inside of a Google document, Google Sheet, or Google Form. So if you look in the toolbar here, there's a tab for add-ons, and what you can do is go to Get Add-ons, and that's where you get add-ons, and they only work within the Google document itself, unlike extensions, which work on top of any web page, or Google Apps, which work at a web page. These are working inside of Google Docs and Google Sheets and Google Forms themselves.
All right, so I'm going to start off with a Google Form add-on, and this one is called Form Limiter. And so I'm going to go to this Google form that I had, and if you've seen this type of page before, you know, it's just a form that you start to make. This one, it's called LeBron News ELA. It was actually from last summer when LeBron was coming home back to Cleveland, and there was an article about it, and so I made like a form asking questions to go with that article. Well, sometimes when you make a form, you can see that like a student, maybe they turned it in like 2 weeks later, and so it kind of creates a little bit of you know, what do you quite do there? It was 2 weeks late. You just tell them it's no good. Did they copy off of somebody else at that point? What Form Limiter does is it will actually give like a due date to your project. So I go ahead here and I hit Form Limiter and I hit Set Limit, and you'll notice over here I have already turned this form off. It says this form has been turned off. And then I just learned about it at the Google Summit last month. And so you'll see that I went ahead and I said stop accepting responses on May 14th, 2015. Now, this form had been done for 6 months, but I just use it as a sample form. But you can go ahead and you can tell when to stop the form. You can even do the time. And so maybe it's a form that you have just for a certain class, and you say, well, you need to have this form done by the end of class, so you set the time for the end of that class, and there you go. And then they can't set the form. And now, I don't want to make it sound like a negative thing, like it's so you say that you can't do this, but maybe it teaches a student responsibility too, and you might say, hey, you know what, let's make sure we get this form done by the end of class, or maybe by next Tuesday, or whatever it is that you decide to do. It has date and time. It also has like max number of form responses, so maybe only so many people can respond to it, you know, depending on what your goal is for that form. You can also set it to a different spreadsheet. So a few different uses for that form limiter. But again, all you do is go in your add-ons and then you have it. Now, that same Google form I would have responses to, and you can see I have some responses up here. This was just a sample one even to begin with, and so I have a few different responses. So what if I want to grade that form? I love this tool right here. If I want to grade it, I go over to my add-ons. This one right here, it's called Flubaroo. Okay, now I'm going to hit regrade assignment because I've already graded it once, but I go into Flubaroo and I hit grade assignment. It says it will replace my existing grades, and that's fine. And so it just kind of takes me through it really, and we start with step one. This is asking how many points do you want each question to be worth, and then it asks, you know, username. They already can tell that means just identify the student, so it doesn't have to count as any points. I continue on, and what's really cool then is that they'll ask me, okay, well, whose do you want to grade? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use J. Roji's, you know, and so I'm always like answering the for myself, so I have it in here for Flubaroo. Now, if you notice, I don't really have any students in here. This is just some people I use to try it. I even put it in a couple times myself. See, I had Mom answer the questions there once too. I trying that, so she'll get a grade back. I keep on hitting continue, and then it goes ahead and it grades the assignment based off of the answers that I gave. Then it says grading complete, and it will go ahead and it will show up with my grades, and I can see what everybody had, and it will say total points. J. Roji 2 had 1 total points. Gail had 2 points. J. Roji 3 and Mr. Darko had 0 points. Like I said, we were just testing it out there, but Mr. Darko obviously doesn't care about LeBron returning to Cleveland. Okay, I can take that a little bit further with my add-ons, Flubaroo, and then I can email the grades then to people. And as long as you had the students use their email address through Gmail, it will go ahead and it will send them the grades. It asks email address question, was their username, include the answer key. Well, sure, I want to put the answer key, and then I might include an email. I might say good job. Maybe it is we need to study more. Things like that. One thing to keep in mind is it sends it to every student, so don't put like an individual message out to a student because it will go to everybody. So you want to make sure you don't do that. Even if you're only grading one and you've graded all the others ahead of time, it'll still go to everybody. So it's a universal message there. Then you hit continue, and then it will tell you that it emailed the grades, and it says 4 were successfully emailed. Hit OK. And that's Flubaroo. So Form Limiter and Flubaroo, I love them for Google Forms. Those are great. At this point, I'll have John go ahead and explain a couple more add-ons that we can use.
Okay, I'm just going to show you one real quick. And in Google Docs, there's an add-on for you math teachers. This is great. So it's called GMath, and you just go to Get Add-ons to get this. And I'm going to scroll down here and choose, sometimes I want to have an expression like this. And I'm going to edit this to, let's say I want it to be 1 minus x over 2x minus x and equals y. So I have this in this view, hit insert, and now I can put math expressions right into and it puts them in as an image, but it puts them in like we like to see, in a form that students are familiar with and visually appealing. So this is really nice, and you can have students get this add-on also, and it makes it really nice for putting math equations into a Google Doc. All right, so add-ons are just used inside of Google Documents. And you just go to your toolbar, go to Get Add-ons, and try some out.